The Bible tells a story of a woman. She was very sick. For 12 long years she suffered. Her sickness made her life hard. She was desperate for a cure. This woman's story is one of great faith. It's a story that speaks to us even today. It reminds us that even when times are dark, hope remains. The Bible doesn't give us her name, but it tells us about her pain. She had an issue of blood. This means she was always bleeding. It made her weak. It caused her great shame. She went to many doctors. They tried to help her, but nothing worked. She spent all her money trying to get well, but she only got worse. Can you imagine her despair? She must have felt so alone. For 12 long years she endured this suffering, 12 years of constant pain and isolation. In those times, a condition like hers was not just a physical ailment but a social stigma. People would have avoided her, fearing they might become unclean by association. She was not just battling her illness, she was fighting a society that shunned her. Every day was a struggle, not just to find a cure, but to find acceptance and understanding. Imagine the emotional toll it must have taken on her, the loneliness, the feeling of being an outcast. She watched others live their lives, participate in community events and worship in the temple, while she remained on the fringes, always looking in but never being a part of it. Her condition defined her existence, overshadowing every aspect of her life. Despite her suffering, she never gave up hope. She prayed for healing, for a miracle. Her faith was her only solace in a world that had turned its back on her. She believed that one day, she would be free from her affliction. Her story is a testament to the human spirit's resilience and the power of faith in the face of overwhelming adversity. Her journey was not just about seeking a cure for her physical ailment, but also about reclaiming her place in society. She longed for the day when she could walk among people without them turning away, when she could be seen not as a pariah but as a person deserving of love and respect. Her story is a poignant reminder of the struggles many face in silence, and the courage it takes to keep moving forward despite the odds. One day she heard about Jesus. People were saying he was a miracle worker. They said he could heal any sickness. At first, she might have doubted. Could this Jesus really help her? But something stirred inside her. A glimmer of hope. Maybe, just maybe, this was her chance. She decided to find Jesus. She had heard about his power. Now she clung to the hope he offered. She found Jesus in a crowd. People were pressing in from all sides. Everyone wanted to be near him. It was hard to get through, but she was determined. She had come too far to give up now. She had to reach Jesus. She believed he could heal her. Her faith pushed her forward. She wouldn't let the crowd stop her. She had to touch him. She finally got close to Jesus. She saw the edge of his cloak. With all her faith, she reached out. She touched his garment. It was a simple touch, but it was filled with belief. At that moment, something happened. She felt it instantly. The bleeding stopped. She was healed. Her years of suffering were over. One touch was all it took. Jesus felt power go out from him. It was an extraordinary moment, one that he could not ignore. Amidst the bustling crowd, he felt a distinct sensation, a pull on his very essence. It was as if a part of his divine energy had been drawn out, and he knew instantly that something significant had occurred. He knew someone had touched him. This was not just any touch, it was a touch filled with purpose and desperation. It was a touch that sought healing, a touch that reached out in faith. Jesus, with his profound sensitivity to the needs of others, could not let this moment pass without acknowledging it. He stopped and asked, "Who touched me?" The disciples were confused. They looked around, bewildered by the question. In the midst of such a large crowd, how could one single touch be identified? The disciples, practical and grounded in their thinking, found it hard to understand why Jesus would ask such a question. They said, "Master, the crowd is pressing around you. People are everywhere, jostling and pushing. How can you ask who touched you?" To them, it seemed impossible to pinpoint one individual in such a throng, but Jesus was not deterred by their confusion. He knew that this touch was different. "Surely you know someone touched you," The disciples spoke with urgency, trying to make sense of the situation. They were concerned for Jesus, worried that he might be overwhelmed by the crowd, but Jesus remained calm, his focus unwavering. He was determined to find the person who had reached out to him in faith. But Jesus knew it was more than just a casual touch. It was a touch that carried with it a deep need, a profound belief in his power to heal. Jesus understood the significance of this moment. He knew that someone had experienced a miracle, and he wanted to acknowledge their faith and courage. He felt the healing power leave him. It was a tangible sensation, a flow of divine energy that had been transferred from him to another. Jesus was acutely aware of this transfer, and he knew that it was a sign of the person's faith and his own divine mission. He wanted to find the person he had healed. Jesus was determined to seek out the individual who had been healed. He wanted to see their face, to offer them words of comfort and affirmation. He knew that this encounter was not just about physical healing, but also about spiritual connection and recognition. He could sense their faith. In the midst of the crowd, Jesus could feel the presence of the person who had touched him. Their faith was like a beacon, drawing him towards them. He knew that this faith was the key to their healing, and he wanted to honor it, and he wanted to acknowledge it. Jesus' compassionate heart was moved by the faith of the person who had reached out to him. He wanted to acknowledge their courage and belief, to let them know that their faith had made them whole. This moment was a testament to the power of faith and the boundless compassion of Jesus. "Who touched me?" The woman was afraid. She knew what had happened. She had been healed. But she also knew it was against the law to touch someone in her condition. She could be in trouble. She fell at Jesus' feet. Trembling, she told him everything. She told him about her sickness. She told him about her faith. She confessed her touch. She was afraid, but she was also honest. Fear and trembling. Jesus looked at her with compassion. He saw her fear. He knew her heart. He said to her, "Daughter, your faith has healed you. Go in peace and be freed from your suffering." Can you imagine her relief? She had been healed in body and spirit. Her faith had saved her. Jesus didn't condemn her. He offered her peace and freedom. Truth revealed. The woman's story is powerful. It shows us that faith can heal. She didn't give up hope. Even when times were hard, she kept believing. And in the end, her faith was rewarded. This story is a reminder to us all. We all face challenges in life. We may face sickness, disappointment, or loss, but even in the darkest of times, we can hold on to faith. The woman with the issue of blood teaches us about the power of faith. She teaches us that even a small touch, if filled with belief, can bring about miracles. Her story is a testament to the boundless love and mercy of Jesus. He saw her pain, he honored her faith, and he healed her completely. Her faith was rewarded. She received her miracle. In ancient texts, we find stories that transcend time, offering wisdom and guidance for every generation. This story has a message for us today. It speaks to the core of our human experience, reminding us of the power of faith and the importance of perseverance. It tells us to keep believing, even when we don't see a way. Life often presents us with challenges and uncertainties, moments when the path ahead seems unclear or daunting. It tells us to reach out to Jesus with all our hearts. In times of doubt and despair, we are encouraged to seek solace and strength in our faith, to extend our hands in prayer and trust. He is always there for us, waiting to heal and to love. Just as a comforting hand on a shoulder can bring peace, so too does Jesus offer us his unwavering support and compassion. Like the woman, we can approach Jesus with our pain, our doubts, and our hopes. We are invited to bring our deepest fears and desires to him, knowing that he listens and understands, and in his presence we too can find healing, hope, and a faith that moves mountains. The joy and peace that come from a deep connection with Jesus can transform our lives, giving us the strength to overcome any obstacle. Have faith. Keep believing. The journey of faith is not always easy, but it is one that brings profound rewards. By holding on to our beliefs and supporting one another, we can navigate the trials of life with grace and resilience. Jesus is waiting for you. He stands with open arms, ready to welcome you into a life of love, healing, and endless possibilities. Embrace this invitation and discover the transformative power of faith. As we reflect on this lesson, let us remember that we are never alone. We are part of a larger community of believers, each of us on our own unique journey, yet united in our shared faith and hope. Let us light the way for one another, offering support and encouragement as we walk this path together. In moments of darkness, our collective faith can be a beacon of light, guiding us towards a brighter future. Take time to reflect on your own journey. Write down your thoughts, your prayers, and your hopes. In doing so, you may find clarity and strength, and a deeper connection to your faith. Share your faith with others. Through acts of kindness and love, we can spread the message of hope and healing that Jesus offers. Whether through a simple gesture or a heartfelt conversation, we can make a difference in the lives of those around us. Remember, the journey of faith is a lifelong adventure. It is filled with moments of awe and wonder, challenges and triumphs. Embrace each step with an open heart and a steadfast spirit. As the sun rises each day, so too does our faith renew and strengthen. Let us greet each new day with hope and determination, knowing that we are guided by a love that is eternal and unchanging. In the harmony of our shared faith, we find a sense of belonging and purpose. Together we can create a world that reflects the love and compassion that Jesus teaches. Plant seeds of faith and watch them grow. Just as a tree takes root and flourishes, so too can our faith grow and bear fruit when nurtured with care and devotion. Look for the signs of hope and beauty in the world around you. They are reminders of the divine presence in our lives and the promise of a brighter tomorrow. Embrace the love that surrounds you. In the arms of family, friends, and community, we find the strength to face any challenge and the joy of shared faith. As we walk this path of faith, let us do so with gratitude and grace. Each step is a testament to our belief in a higher purpose and a brighter future. The horizon is wide and full of promise. With faith as our guide, we can journey forward with confidence, knowing that we are never alone. Let your light shine. In a world that often feels dark and uncertain, our faith can be a source of hope and inspiration for others. And as the sunflowers turn towards the light, so too can we turn towards the love and guidance of Jesus. In His presence we find the strength to grow and the courage to bloom. Jesus is waiting for you. Embrace His love and let it transform your life. The journey of faith is a beautiful adventure, and it begins with a single step.